What's up?
Good evening, everyone.
How's it going? This is Mythos CCG. Ignore that my shoulder doesn't exist. It's fine.
Shoulder.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
You're phasing in and out of reality.
Wow. It's taking me.
Chat, roll sanity damage.
So, this game was sent to us actually by someone from the Dead CCG Marketplace or Dead CCG Collectors Facebook group, which is a really cool Facebook group. They share deals on random old card games all the time. They just share love of it in general.
It's deals screaming into an Ollie's near you.
Yeah, they were like, check this stuff out. It's at Ollie's right now. Go to Ollie's, buy it. Very good source for knowing when stuff's going for sale at Ollie's. So that's great. This game was intimidating at first to me when I was reading the rules because like there's a lot of card types. There's like 9 different card types.
Yeah.
There's a lot of iconography.
Yeah, plus this game was designed in that period where we've talked about many times before graphic design had not been invented yet.
However, there's a lot of really cool mechanics in this game that were left behind. Like a lot of these old games we see, they were trying new, interesting things, and modern card games don't do that very much.
No. But a lot of card games play it safe or fall on.
They play it safe. They want to do, I have health and you have health, and we try to beat each other up.
Yeah.
This has some of that, but there's also like, you're trying to tell a story. I mean, the entire premise of the game is to tell a story. So you're trying to fulfill these adventure cards in your deck by playing certain cards. But in addition to that, you can also play threats to beat up your opponent. This game was designed for 4-player.
Yeah, I did see that when I was looking into it. Is that the game was supposed to be a multiplayer?
I think in like tournament settings, it's generally 4-player.
Yeah.
So it does. Obviously, there's 2-player modes, but I think like a general attack opponent's face strategy is a lot better in 2-player because in multiplayer you end up having to spread that out.
Yeah.
Whereas in 1-player, you could probably just have 2 people playing that strategy and not worrying about adventures.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be as fun.
And everybody dies to the monsters, so.
We are playing the standard game set of Mythos. So this was, I think, a starter set that was produced a little bit into the life of the game and actually has some rules updates in the back of the book that were like, these things were changed or like these things were clarified since the last time the rule book was opened. These 2 decks are pre-made, pre-constructed, made to like face off against each other.
Yeah, this game does seem very, very difficult. Kind of like X-Files. It seems like
it reminds me a lot of X-Files, actually.
Yeah, it seems like this game would be impossible to play if you were just opening random booster packs, right?
I don't know about impossible, but it would take a while to be able to build decks I think you were happy with.
Well, yeah, because the thing is just the way the adventures work, right?
Yeah,
the adventures
and I'll explain those.
Yeah,
in very soon. I will say the rule book was pretty good. Disclaimer: I read the rule book that came in the starter set. I'm going to teach the game based on this rule book.
Yeah,
we might get some stuff wrong.
Yeah,
if anyone in chat knows the rules to Mythos and sees us getting stuff wrong, let us know.
It wouldn't be the first time we've gotten one of these card games wrong based off of the rule book as it was printed when the game was printed.
So keep that in mind as we're playing. We're not going to be playing the full campaign gameplay, which I'll explain what that means too as I'm explaining the game. We might get things wrong. We might say things that make you mad. Disclaimer. We are going to be honest about our feelings on this game after we play it.
Yeah, so I was actually thinking about the expectations. When you tell me we've got a Mythos card game, what I'm expecting Eldritch Horrors. I'm expecting maybe some pulp action.
Okay, yeah.
I
think it does have that.
That's the type of stuff that I want from a game, and if it can deliver on those in a thematic fashion, then I feel like
having read the rule book and looking at the cards, I think it's going to deliver those things.
Okay,
I believe.
Do our adventures start off to the side, or
no?
Okay,
they're in your deck. Stop getting ahead of me.
Sorry.
So
I'm just so eager to learn.
I'm going to start putting disclaimers in front of all of our card game necromancy videos. We are meant to. This is it's not educational, not necessarily educational. I am trying to teach the game. We're trying to learn the game as best we can, but this is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. So
don't yell at us, please.
So if you find yourself somehow in a life or death situation in which you need to play Mythos, then using the rules exactly as they exist 20 some odd years later, then we're going to apologize for that.
We are going to do our best. So, Mythos. Now, we are investigators, and we are trying to tell a story or like solve things, weird stuff that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what an investigator looks like. They are all pretty much the same. They have different beginning sanity levels. They have different minimum and maximum hand sizes. You start with 13 cards in your hand. You draw up after the end of a round.
Are decks 52 cards?
Decks are exactly 50. Oh, minimum 52 cards. You can have more.
Okay.
Deck building. Education level, which pretty much just determines who goes first, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
And that is it. Everyone, I believe all the investigators are maximum sanity 20, at least all the ones I've seen. These are also double-sided, so I can be a soulful jazz singer, or I can be a gifted musician.
My options are the bored clerk or the rebellious youth.
Rebellious youth. Those little overalls.
Yeah.
Looking like he's about to get up to some mischief.
I think I'm going to play the bored clerk.
Okay.
Because my head is like this after hearing about car repairs all day. So.
All right, so the core of the game are these adventure cards. Now, there's I think Nathan said there was 4 of these in his deck. Those can be played if you have all of the capitalized words on cards somewhere in your story deck. And I'll explain more what story deck means in a little bit, but that is, so you can see on this card, it's like a letter from a friend is a card in my deck. Reveals that noted explorer, can't read that, but that is a card in my deck, is missing. And the Arkham Police, that's a card in my deck. Our police department is a card in my deck. If all of those things are fulfilled, I can play this adventure and the game immediately ends. I score points. I score 8 points. And then we compare our sanity totals, and whoever's got the highest total wins the game. So if Nathan was at 20 sanity, I was at 10 sanity, and I scored my 8-point adventure, the game ends, and then Nathan wins because he's got 20 sanity. So
yeah. And this is the quick rules.
That is the
as
quick
explained
rules.
In there.
We are the real rules, which is like the campaign mode of the game, and I think is just like that's just how you play the game. Is you have to deck build with 20 points worth of adventures, and the first person to get to 20 points worth of adventures scored, that is when the end of the game is triggered. You can also end the game by reducing opponent's sanity to 0. The game immediately ends. You win. That's it. So okay. that's the alternate win condition.
Yeah.
But we're going to be playing by the standard rules, the quick rules, where if an adventure is completed, the game immediately ends. For those of you who use typewriters and never thought about how limited the fonts were, this is a great blast from the past. There you go. It's that's just the font. All right, so that's adventures. Okay, they'll be in your deck. You can play them from your hand like any other card. There are also locations. These are very important to the game. This is the location you're going to be at currently. So above your investigator card, like right here, that is where you currently are. That's also where your story deck exists. So the face up, right oriented location is where your investigator currently is in the world. So locations have a subtype, which is like where they are. This is Miskatonic Valley. It's kind of Croman, but it also has...
Go ahead, appreciate that stuff.
Thank you. Various attributes. These are like iconography. This is daytime, water, and forest, I think. Yeah. Name of it, and then like super types or subtypes of just like keywords that could be relevant, could not be relevant. Just depends.
Yeah. Country, village, artifact there.
Yeah. So,
and then it looks like there's some flavor text there at the bottom.
Some flavor text?
Yeah, I'll read the flavor text. Okay, it says, Barton's Beach is once more popular as a watering place, but I shudder when I think of it. Sonia H. Green, The Horror at Martin's Beach.
Okay, then
Who wrote The Horror at Martin's Beach? I don't.
Wasn't Lovecraft?
I don't think it was a Lovecraft one. So
you have allies. So allies are people that can come help you on your journeys. Now allies are, thank you, Code Red. I know, so you see it's some best friends. However, my shoulder is missing, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. The ally has a strength in the top left, which is how much sanity it can absorb in combat. Okay,
it was Lovecraft.
It was Lovecraft,
but Sonia H. Green was a co-writer on it as well.
Okay, there you go. They can only be played if you are in the location that it says right here. So like I can only meet Luther Harden if I have traveled to an Arkham location. So that's where you're limited to where you can meet allies. Then you would just kind of play them from your hand. And they have their abilities as well. So that's allies. Locations, there are events. Events have an effect. You play them from your hand. They resolve. They do the thing. Sometimes they sit and play. Sometimes they're immediately put into your story. Now, most of the time when something that is in play leaves play, it is put into your story, which means you just tuck it down under your location deck. And anything in your story deck can count toward the completion of adventures. So even if an ally like dies in combat, you still have access to score it for your adventure, because like a lot of the time the adventure is like you met this person on your journey, blah blah blah, you went here, then you went here. So your location deck's going to stack up with places that you've been to and allies you've played, events you've played, monsters you've played, everything, and that is going to be used to be able to score adventures. So I thought that was really cool, actually.
Yeah, I like the idea of you having to play a game and survive and stuff like that, and then at the end of it, you've completed some adventures, which is kind of interesting. And it's not, I guess, from a design perspective, it's really neat because you could have cards that fulfill multiple adventures.
Yes.
So that's really cool from
if you're playing campaign mode and you score an adventure, you actually have to remove cards from your adventure deck for whichever adventure you're scoring. So you can't like score those cards twice.
Ah, okay.
You can't have one card fulfill two different aspects on an adventure card.
Okay.
But it could fulfill either of those two aspects. If
okay.
If it, like,
so you can have a lot of redundancy then.
You can have redundancy, yeah. So you could build redundancy in your deck, and that's why the adventure decks the adventure cards kind of dictate your deck building.
Yeah. It also encourages you to include lots of different types of cards.
Yep. So you'll naturally kind of make a balanced deck with the adventure cards, which is something I think that X-Files was missing.
Yes.
As some sort of direction in deck building. So, that's what did I just talk about? That was locations, allies. There are also tome cards. So tome cards, you have to be able to read the language it's in, okay?
Yeah.
To be able to play a tome card. And it says, Investigator says, like, knows English underneath it. So Nathan's knows English. There's also allies that know certain languages. Most allies will say, like, knows English, knows Latin, something like that. If you have an ally that knows a language, you can play that tome on your Investigator, because you assume that they're helping you. When a tome comes into play, you can also play spells that are associated with it. So this tome can cast this icon of spells. I think that's death spells. So a tome comes into play, and you would actually tuck a spell underneath it. So that spell is like in the tome, and I'll show you what a spell looks like. So it's a death spell, so it can only be played on death tomes. And to cast a spell, you just turn it face down. And actually, spells aren't really played from your hand and then resolved and then they are done. You have to play them on tomes, and you have to turn them face down to cast them. At the end of a round, everything that's face down turns face up.
Okay, so it's kind of like tapping them or using them or whatever.
Yeah. And they have a cost on them. So like this one is -2 sanity to play.
So I have the Hutchinson Cipher here, which is a tome which has 2 symbols on it, and so there's 2 different types of symbols of spells in this deck. The Dust of Suleiman and Command of the Bloody Tongue.
I think this is actually the only spell in this deck for whatever reason. And then there are monsters. So monsters have an attack value, an ability, and a name. This one looks pretty cool also.
Yeah.
I actually like a lot of the art in this game.
Yeah, so I would say that I think most of the art doesn't fit with the frame.
The problem is, right, the frame takes away from the art, but the art actually is really good. If it was just on its own or on a different frame, it would pop so much better, right?
Yeah.
So the way monsters work is whenever you are at a location with a portal symbol, which is there as green, you can't quite see it, you can take an action on your turn to rotate it toward your opponent, and then you can play a monster from your hand.
And monsters are like hidden, right?
You play it face down.
Because I can't comprehend it.
So you actually don't know what the threats are until they're coming at you. Okay. So that's how you play monsters. So if there's a gate, and so it's called a gate. If there's a gate location you're at, and you turn it upside down, you can't play more than one threat there.
Okay.
There's an ability called, basically we're going to be going back and forth taking one action, aka playing a card from our hand or doing a thing, until one player has passed twice or we both pass in succession. So that means if I pass and you take an action, and then I pass, the round's actually over. So even if you have like a bunch of actions saved up, I can end the round sort of maybe before you want it to end. So that's a benefit to that. Which is a lot different than a lot of those other games where it's just like, I pass, I'm
waiting
passed
for
forever,
you do
a bunch of stuff. I actually like that because it like kind of forces action, and you have to think a little more about every action you do. Because
it's like more
you might
important.
not have you might not be able to do everything you want.
Yeah.
That's monsters, and finally there are artifacts. So artifacts come into play. They actually have a cost, and a lot of other cards have a cost in the bottom left corner. This costs 1 sanity to play. Let me find one. There's also some cards that will give you sanity when you play them.
Is it the green?
That's a green. So like if it's, you probably can't quite see it, but +1. So this, when I play Granny Orn, she gives me 1 sanity when I play her. That's the cost to play. It costs us gaining sanity. Great. The cost of playing this artifact is -1 sanity. Some monsters cost you sanity to play. When you are using a gate to play a monster, you have to pay the sanity cost, and then you play it face down.
Is the yellow also sanity?
The yellow is a spell, right?
Yeah.
So that's a sanity cost when you cast the spell.
Okay.
Not when you play it, just when you cast it.
All right.
It is a grandmother. That's right. Very scary. Horrifying. Combat. Combat is a little bit complicated. So at the end of a round, if I have a threat and Nathan has a threat, basically we're going to send our threats at each other. If we have any allies, we can choose to defend with them. Our monsters do cosmic battle first. So we flip our monsters face up. They assign their power. The defender chooses where they want the power to be assigned first. So like if I have 2 power and you have like a 1 power and a 1 power guy or something like that, or a 2 power and a 1 power guy, you could like take 1 damage here, 1 damage here, and this one would die because I'm taking 3 back. And then the allies that you defended with enter combat. Their strength is compared as well, and any excess damage is dealt to sanity.
Okay.
And there's probably a little more to that. We'll actually like be able to, once we do battles, it'll make a lot more sense. There are also enchanted weapons or enchanted artifacts that I think are in that deck that can allow allies to fight with monsters. So you can add allies to the threat stack. So you can send your allies with enchanted weapons at me.
I have a bunch of cultists in my deck.
Yeah, so cultists can be played as threats.
Okay, I also have this monster that says it can swap bodies with an opponent's ally.
Yeah, so I'm worried that the deck just is going to stomp me.
Yeah, it'll be covered in monsters.
Yeah. All right, so let's just start playing, and we'll see. We might like run into some questions as we go, but we'll try to like show you all the cards we're playing.
Yeah,
all that good stuff.
It's very interesting to me. I guess the 13 card hand size, kind of like Highlander, where you have like a really big hand, so you're not guaranteed to have stuff, but you're almost always going to have some sort of action.
Yeah.
Especially in a game where there's so many like individual cards that I'm looking for.
At the end of a round, if you have your minimum and maximum hand size, so like my minimum is 3. If you have less than your minimum hand size, you have to keep all those cards. If you have more than your minimum hand size, you can discard down to your minimum hand size, and then you draw back up to 13 for the next round.
Oh, okay. So my minimum is 5, my maximum is 7. So what does that mean? Does that mean I can keep at maximum 7 cards?
You can right.
Okay.
Exactly. But you always draw back up to 7 or back up to 13.
Okay, so if the turn ends and I have 9 cards in hand, I have to throw 2 away and then draw.
Yeah.
Where are those cards that are discarded go? Is that
discard pile? They are not in the story.
Okay. I have not played them.
You can pay 1 sanity to reshuffle your discard pile into your deck.
Okay.
So, like, if something very important is in your discard pile,
okay.
You can put it back in your deck. Yeah, so it's 52 card decks and 13 cards around.
You got 25%. There's actually like
you see a good bit of your deck.
So there's a decent chance then that you would have that you could complete like a scenario. I mean, complete an adventure on the first turn, right?
I think so. Yeah. Barring your opponent doesn't punch you in the face and kill you or disrupt your plan somehow. There's cards that'll like discard cards from play. So they're not going to go to the story.
Yeah.
They're deleted from existence. Also, gotta love those these 90s card backs.
Yeah.
Love it. This game came out in 1996, by the way.
I don't hate these card backs. I don't completely hate them.
Like beginning sanity is 14. Your beginning sanity is 13?
Yes. My education is 14.
Mine is 12. So you're going to take the first action.
Okay.
I'll read over what the possible actions. It's 9,
Okay.
10, 13.
This game is older than you.
Oh boy, I wish this game was older than me. Alright, let's see the possible actions. Okay, so possible actions are take a card from your hand and lay it on the table in front of you in the proper place around your investigator card. Easy. Play a card. No comment from Murtani. And rotate a location card from crosswise orientation on your story deck to a right side up orientation. At this moment, it applies to any gains or losses. Also, on the first turn, you have to play a location. That's where all stories start, at a good location. Use one artifact as another possible effect. Cast a spell by spending the sanity points indicated, naming the target, applying the spell's effect, and flipping the spell card face down. Follow card instructions requiring your investigator to lose a turn. So if you have any loss of turn things happening, that's your action for the turn. Take any card action requiring a turn. Flip any one face down card face up. So some card effects might flip like your allies face down or something, but you can take an action to flip them face up.
Okay.
Or you can pass.
Okay.
All right. You may begin.
All right. I have 1,000 cards to read.
Yeah. It's like, what cards do I need to fill the adventure, right?
I have 1,000 cards to read. Okay. Alright. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is play a location. So, let's see. Alright, so, okay. Alright, I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'll see if I can talk through my thought process right now.
I don't know any of the cards in your deck, so I don't.
Yeah. So I
it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm so my hand is half locations.
Okay. I think there are a good bit of locations in the game.
I guess I'm gonna start with the Forgotten Crypt. So I'm gonna see if I'm allowed to play this, right? This is a Kingsport location.
Yeah.
The Forgotten Crypt, city, tomb, underground artifact. It's got water, I'm guessing. It's got a tombstone, which I guess is graveyard, and a building. Is that city?
It's not city, but it's something.
Okay. And then I've got -1 sanity, I assume.
That's what it costs to play it. Yeah.
Okay, so I go down to 12 sanity because I've decided to journey into a crypt.
The building is inside. That's the...
Inside, okay.
Yeah.
And the flavor text on this card was, the tale of that sinuous line of night marchers seemed very horrible. And as I saw them wriggling into that venerable tomb, they seemed more horrible still.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go to Central Hill, which is just a Kingsport location. Nothing special. The flavor text is, a sort of focus of crazy alleys at the top of a high hill in the center of the town, where perched a great white church. Boom. That's my action. Your action.
Okay. So this is I want to summon a monster.
Okay.
All right. So I flip this upside down.
Yep.
And this monster is hidden. Do I pay the sanity cost?
Pay the sanity cost now. You play it face down.
Okay.
Right there in
It's
your
going down.
Mythos threat area.
In my Mythos threat area, my sanity cost for this monster is 2.
2. Okay. Cool. Great. Wonderful. Am I dead to monsters? Alright, so I am effed. I'm done for. Okay.
I gotta say, the deck building for this game would be extremely interesting, just from this first couple of turns here. I'm willing to bet that card draw probably doesn't exist in this game, right?
I doubt it does. At very minimum, or it's discard to draw kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to start walking to Miss Green's house.
Okay. All right.
So very cozy house.
Okay.
Very cozy. H.P. Lovecraft's decision to marry Sonia Green in 1924 was impulsive and totally unexpected. They reside in Sonia's apartment for less than a year. Their marriage itself lasted only 4 years. All right, so I have to play it sideways as I am walking there.
Okay.
So I'm not there yet.
All right, and it's because that is New York.
It is because it's New York.
And in Kingsport.
I didn't explain this earlier, but this location is Kingsport and a city. If I played another Kingsport location that is also a city, I could immediately play it face up. However, I'm still playing a location in the same region, so I have to walk there. If there are two locations in the same subtype that are both, or that is one is country, you still have to walk there. That is kind of confusing, not super intuitive.
Yeah, and so,
but that's part of the rule.
And to further clarify regions, green is the region,
and all the cards in the starter decks except for one are all green.
Yeah.
But in the wide game, there's like a few other regions that's like purple and blue and blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
Including other dimensions. All right, so I want to play an ally.
Okay.
I'm going to play Dr. Allen. He's probably going to be crummy here. Dr. Allen, corrupt cultist, knows English and glyphs.
So you can't play that ally because it requires you to be in the Providence region.
Oh, okay.
To play.
Just kidding.
Good lesson.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, I'm going to take a car.
Okay.
Fine, I'll drive. I'll climb into my 1924 Packard. Play this card and immediately play a new location in the same region, right side up on top of your story deck. Did I flip this over? Or
usually it does this.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna drive off. So,
there also is a keyword called joins, or it'll appear on cards. If something says joins something, that means you can play it within the same action.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I guess we gotta travel to Providence, so I'm going to head to Providence Historical Society, City Museum Society, Artifact. Location, water, inside, and the flavor text says, Orne had apparently been careful to destroy most of his correspondence, but the citizen who took action in 1771 found and preserved a few letters and papers which excited their wonder from the case of Charles Dexter Ward.
So I'll let you just go right there without...
Yeah, so it says, play this card and immediately play a new location in the same region, right side up on top of your story deck.
Right,
so I just drive there.
You're just there. All right, I'm going to arrive.
Okay.
At Miss Green's house. I'm done.
And that's your action?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my action.
Doc arrive. Okay, so now comes Dr. Allen. I'm allowed to play him now because I'm in Providence.
Yep.
And that's -1 sanity. Alright, so Dr. Allen, corrupt cultist, knows English and glyphs. He can know any one spell. Bury spell in your story deck after his cast joins Gomez. Gomez is not here in my hand, so... Can you only have one ally in play?
You can have as many allies as you want. You just can't have the same allied, same named ally.
Gotcha.
Which I don't think is a problem. All right, I will play Samuel Windsor, some churchy guy. Steadfast priest, knows English and Latin.
Oh.
As your turn, flip this card, and your current location gains the church attribute as long as Samuel Windsor remains flipped at the location, remains your top story deck card. During each additional turn that you remain in the location and the Windsor remains flipped, you may bury one phobia affecting your investigator.
Oh, okay.
So you could play phobias on me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my action.
All right. So does he only stay around if I stay in Providence?
Nope,
if I leave,
with you forever. You picked him up. You're taking him on your adventures.
All right. So then, strategy wise, is it worth? So I have the Athenium, which is a city location in Providence. So that means I would just arrive there, right?
That's a city too. So you arrive there.
Okay.
Yep.
So I am moving to the Athenium. And I guess it's worth doing this here just because I may need these locations for one of my adventures later on.
Right.
I don't know for sure. I don't know the deck well enough, but the Athenium is a city, library, tome location in Provenance. And the flavor text says, his hours were spent in pursuit of the antiquarian and genealogical data at the City Hall, the State House, the Public Library, the Athenium. Also from the case of Charles Dexter Ward.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna summon another ally, or meet another ally. Miss Sonia Lovecraft.
Ah,
Nice.
there she is.
Born 1883, died 1972. Add 2 points to the value of this card while you have Howard Lovecraft in play. Also, Miss Sonia Lovecraft is not turned corrupt by cards that turn allies corrupt. And it says joins Howard Lovecraft. So if I had Howard Lovecraft and I played him, she could come into play for free.
Okay. It's interesting that they wrote Lovecraft into the Lovecraft game here. So
would be worth for Nathan to pass quickly so Justin gets wrecked by monsters. That is a strategy he could do. However, that's like it would probably just do a little bit of damage to me at the end of the round. So if he past, I would get another action. It would do some damage. I don't know that would be impactful enough. There probably is a point in the game, like if I was at low health, that would definitely be beneficial for him to do.
I have 7 cards in hand. I am okay, I think I want to okay, so I'm going to travel to the Boston and Maine train station. So this is an Arkham location. This is not, even though it is a city location, I can't travel to it, right?
Right.
Because I have to walk here.
You gotta walk there.
All right. This says I may play this card immediately after playing a train travel by land event on the same turn. So I could travel to there by train, but unfortunately, there's nothing. So
now I'm gonna walk to the Essex Institute, so the sanitarium. I'm just gonna take a little trip to the sanitarium. It will give me 5 sanity when I arrive there.
Oh, nice.
It says trepanning is fun. Randomly discard 1 card from your hand during each additional turn that you remain here. You may bury 1 phobia affecting your fear. I don't do that until I arrive there, but
okay,
I'm walking there. We walk in here.
I'm walking here. All right, so I arrive at the train station. Okay, and it's your action.
I will arrive. I gain 5 sanity.
And that's quite a bit of sanity.
19, and I discard a card randomly from my hand.
Okay, interesting. Okay, I like that. This feels kind of balanced.
There's another thing is the red dot in the bottom right of this card means that is a unique card. You can only include 1 copy of it in your deck. There's a lot of cards like that. Yep. The stronger cards are usually unique.
That's
the one adventure I didn't want you to discard. It's like the easiest to complete one.
Got him. All right, I'm going to play Ray Stuckley. Corrupt police detective. No comment. Knows English. Ally.
Just police detective? Is Columbo?
Yeah. It's isn't that a corrupt police detective? Isn't that redundant?
It's just Columbo. It's just Columbo, man.
Protection from police investigation and from cards that cause you to lose artifacts or tomes. At the moment you would lose an artifact or tome, you may choose to bury this card instead. You must then bury his or her card. So so the corrupt police detective and the corrupt cultist are hanging out.
All right. I am going to pass.
I will pass.
Okay.
And so, is that in the turn there?
It does.
Okay. So is it when 2 people pass? How does it work?
Either
is it consecutive pass or somebody passes
actually
twice?
Maybe I would have to pass again in that case.
Okay.
So I think it's the same person passes twice. So, but I will pass.
Okay.
So,
but you could take an action there. If
I
you
believe I could take an action. Then you could pass it in the round.
Okay. All right. Yeah, exactly.
So, we're going to proceed to the combat set, and I'll pull up the part of the book so we don't get
okay. They got a thing.
Passing. Either when 1 player passes twice or on consecutive turns, or if 1 player passes and a second player passes before their first passing player gets another turn. So, pass does end the round.
Okay. So if a player passes twice, the round ends.
Yep. Okay, combat. Commit monsters. That monster is attacking me.
Okay. Is it flipped up?
No. Not yet. You commit, and then I commit allies.
Okay.
I don't have a threat, so I don't. So I'm going to commit my priest.
Okay.
As a defender, pretty much.
Okay.
Then cast spells. So the person at lowest sanity has a chance to cast spells first.
I
have tomes with
I have
spells, so
I have no spells. This guy could have cast a spell. Can know any one spell. Does that have to be played with?
You can like tuck a spell in her.
Okay.
As an action.
Okay, as an action, give them a spell.
When an ally plays a spell, it actually is discarded.
Okay. Yes, that's what this says.
Yeah.
This says bury spell.
Oh, it buries. Okay, so bury means under your story deck.
Okay.
All right, so now you reveal monsters.
All right.
If I had any monsters, they would now do Cosmic Battle.
Okay, there's no Cosmic Battle.
Whoa!
This is the Servitor of the Outer Gods.
Whoa!
Look at him. He's got 6 strength up here. This feels like a big fella.
My poor priest.
Adds 2 points to the value of this card if a Great Old One or an Outer God is in play. When this card is revealed, there is not.
Okay.
While a Servitor of the Outer Gods is a threat, all other monsters in the same threat are classified as Lesser Servitors.
Okay.
Whatever any of that text means.
Don't even worry about it. There's a lot of like subtype references, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I believe this now eats your priest.
It now eats the priest. It's assigning 6 damage, and the priest takes 1. The priest is buried.
Yeah.
The priest does 1 back. I take 5.
Okay.
To my sanity. Go down to 14.
Now, does this hang around, or is this?
It's now buried in your story.
All right. Goes flying off.
Part of your story. So that's I like that part about the game is like everything happens once. You can't just dominate with one single giant monster forever.
Yeah, it's a cool mechanic. All right, so my allies just hang out over here still.
Yeah, they're hanging out.
Do they have to die to be counted as part of the adventure?
They are part of your story now.
Okay.
So if you have an adventure that is stuff in play, you can count them. End of round. So we discard down. So following the conclusion of combat, each player should consult his or her investigator card. You must keep the minimum number of cards and indicate if you have more than your minimum, you may discard down to this number. Should you have fewer than the minimum remaining in your hand, you must keep all cards that remain in your hand. Your investigator card also lists the maximum number of cards you may keep. You must discard any cards in excess of your maximum. So I'm going to discard down.
All right, so I have 5 cards, so I cannot discard down below that because my minimum is 5.
There you go. And my minimum is 3. Discard.
So you could discard all the way down to 3 and then like try to. Okay,
yeah.
That's interesting. It's like the lower the minimum, the better if you're fishing for specific results.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I am discarding down to 3.
All right, so then I draw 8 because I have 5.
The next round begins with the investigator with the lowest sanity.
That's me.
There you go.
I'm a little bit insane here.
Crazy. So you can see that it like looks complicated, but it sort of plays pretty eloquently, honestly.
All right, so I can play a phobia on you. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I can bury phobias if I'm in the institute.
Ah, okay. Maybe I have to wait until you're gone. All right, so I have a card that says joins in my hand now. Can it be played for free, or
if you play something that it joins to?
Okay.
If it says joins to something, that means if you play that other thing, it joins with. You can play at the same time.
Okay, I think I gotta. Let's see. Okay, we're headed to the caverns beneath the old church. Now, this is in Kingsport, so I gotta walk to it, unfortunately. I took the roundabout way. I took a car to go take a train to go walk back to Kingsport. So, there's a city underground tome. It is a graveyard location. And I followed dumbly down the foot-worn steps into the dank, suffocating crypt from the festival. So I guess all the locations are like from the same stories. This is from the festival. I believe this was also from the festival, so that's kind of cool. So.
Okay, I'm gonna play agoraphobia on you.
Oh no!
Fear of open places.
Okay,
so it's an event. At the beginning of your turn, lose 1 sanity point if the top card of your story deck features the outside attribute, which is the sun. If you're walking somewhere, it gains that attribute.
Okay. All right. So my turn, I lose 1 sanity because I'm outside.
Yeah.
But then scary. I arrive in the Forgotten caverns beneath the old church.
Okay, I will.
Do you have to play an adventure, then complete it?
Playing the adventure is completing it.
Okay.
Now I'm going to take a walk to the American Museum of Natural History.
Oh, how fun!
Now we're taking a little walk, a little stroll there.
All right, I am going to play Portophobia on you. Affects the opponent's investigator. This is the fear of gates. At the beginning of your turn, lose 1 sanity point if your current location features the gate attribute.
Okay. I'm very scared of gates. I'm going to arrive at the museum.
All right, so does that phobia, or is my phobia count towards my story? Or is
the phobia counts toward your story?
Okay. Can you have multiple phobias on you, or is it just one?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll learn the different names. I am not even close to completing my adventure.
Yes, I'm actually. Yeah, so the thing is, I thought I was close, but upon further reading, I'm not that close.
I see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was actually supposed to lose a sanity for playing this. Down to 7.
When you arrive there, you lose it.
Okay. Oh my god! I am playing things terribly inefficiently. So if I walk, I'm going to lose sanity due to my agoraphobia.
Yeah, man.
Can't believe this. Oh my god, he's so good. We gotta play him.
Also, if an ally takes any amount of damage to their sanity points during combat, they're buried.
Okay. All right. We're headed back to Vermont. I'm going to the Newburyport Public Library. And while this is your current location, all steadfast allies add 1 to their point card value. So I gotta walk back there.
Okay. I will. So in New York, I'm going to play Harry Houdini.
Ah!
My deck is all
awesome.
real people. Which is pretty funny. So Harry Houdini is an ally born 1874, died 1926, a noted escape artist. Bury Harry Houdini only if he takes his full card value in sanity loss during combat.
Okay, that makes sense. I gotcha.
So he can take a damage and then return to my allies.
Alright, so I will lose a sanity for being outside while I'm walking, and then I'll arrive in the library, which will give me a sanity. So I'll go back up to 7. Alright, there I am. I'm here.
I'm going to give Harry Houdini a gun.
Oh my god!
30-06 bolt action rifle. Adds 3 points of value.
My god.
1 weapon per ally. If an ally is discarded or buried, the weapon suffers the same fate. Harry Houdini. He's strapped.
Packing heat?
He's strapped up.
He's packing heat. He's like, who are the psychics? Take me to the psychics.
I will shoot them.
I will prove them frauds. Alright, I am gonna play Miss Anna Tilton. Here she is.
Oh, God.
Miss Anna Tilton, steadfast, friend, knows English. I get +1 sanity for playing her, so I'm up to 8 here. And while this card is in play, on a later turn, you may assign Miss Anna Tilton, curator of the Historical Society, 1 artifact card at any location. This artifact remains with Anna and suffers any fate that Anna suffers. The artifact may be replaced with another if lost. So there you go.
I'm going to play High Noon. It's High Noon in honor of Overwatch 2. If it is now day, bury any night or day event in play. At the moment that this card is played, all corrupt allies with weapons are flipped face down.
I have 2 corrupt, but they're not carrying weapons.
Yeah, so it's high noon.
High noon. Alright, so that just sits in play. Huh?
Yeah.
Alright. Don't really want to go walking. Alright, so this says, while she is in play, I can assign her an artifact from any location. What does that mean?
Like
this artifact, yeah.
If you can
one
play an
artifact at any location.
Assign her?
Yeah. Do I have to play an artifact at a specific location? Or just can she just
assign to Miss Anna, curator, one artifact at any location? This artifact remains with Anna and suffers. Okay, so I think it's like if it has a location requirement. I guess.
Okay.
Maybe.
So I don't think this one does.
Yeah, this one does. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's just like you can give her an artifact.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna give her the speech machine.
Oh, cool. Terrifying.
So I'm down to 7. Yeah, this is they put your brain in a jar and then they use this to let you talk. So this artifact has a constant effect. While this card is in play, increase the value of all your Migo and Migo leaders by 1 point each. So,
all right, I'm gonna play.
Would you like to check out my brain in a jar?
It's now evening. It's high evening.
Okay.
It is now night. Bury any day or night cards in play. When this card is played, the player may discard 1 card from his or her hand and replace it with the top card of his or her Mythos deck.
Oh.
So I'm going to discard a
card. I gotta give me some of that efficiency.
Okay. I done.
I'm gonna pass, I think. Alright,
I'm gonna play Howard Lovecraft.
Oh, there he is.
We've arrived.
It's right there. It's show him off.
Oh yeah, Howard Lovecraft. Look how ugly he is. Look at his dumb chin. Disgusting. It says, born 1890, died 1937. Add 1 point to the value of this card when you have Miss Sonia Lovecraft at play.
Okay. It's a shame they couldn't have been torn limb from limb by elder beings, really.
There's no cat.
There's no, yeah. I don't think
that does not come with a cat.
I don't think that cat would make it a
body
print
shame Lovecraft.
even.
You're right, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's okay to body shame Lovecraft. He was racist.
You can body shame racist.
You can make fun of racist people.
It's fine. Okay.
So you played a Lovecraft?
Yes.
I'm passing again.
So that's the end of the round.
All right. I'm going to discard down to 5.
No combats because no one played any threats. I'll discard down to 3. Do I reshuffle? I might be mostly bricked. I'm going to try to not.
Alright, discard down to 5, and then I will draw 8. Yeah, it does feel like
I might not be bricked.
Does feel like this game has a high amount of interactivity.
Yeah.
And I like that you get to see a lot of cards. Right?
Yeah, I think you can definitely get through most of your deck. And you're still going first. It's time.
Okay, how close?
You definitely when you draw your 13 card hand, you're like assembling a game plan for that round, right?
Yeah.
You're like, this is the sequence of things I want to do.
Right. But your opponent can affect that too,
Mhm.
which is the interesting thing. So. uh. Okay, so I need there. What counts as an ambush? Is it just a card that says ambush on it?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. It might have that like subtype.
Oh my god, I'm like several times I've been needing like 1 or 2 cards just to complete stuff. Okay, so I am going to play. I think I'm gonna play Dysentery.
The what? Dysentery.
Oh
no.
Affects opponent's allies. This is an epidemic card. Your opponent must flip all allies face down. Any other investigators who are in the same subregion as the target are similarly affected. So, does this get buried after I play this?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So I flip my allies face down?
Yeah, your opponent must flip all allies face down.
Okay. I actually had a card in my hand that could help against that.
No.
Funny enough.
Dude,
and I was going to play it as my turn, but you played that first, so.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Then I won't play my card. But I am going to play the Arkham Police Department. We're going to take a walk there.
All right.
It's not real. It's not real.
How did Lovecraft actually die? I hope he didn't actually die of dysentery.
I have no idea.
Alright, so I've got an enchanted knife.
Okay.
Alright.
This lets you...
adds 1 point to an ally's value. Who's picking up this knife? I think the corrupt cultist there.
That does let your allies attack me.
Okay.
Because it's an enchanted weapon.
Okay.
So you can add them to a threat. Alright, so I am gonna finish traveling here. If this is your current location during combat, reduce each directed threat attacking you by 1 point when threats are revealed.
Ooh.
Cancer, okay.
Okay. That makes sense. Not really a lot of cures for that in the 30s. Does a monster that says underground location solstice on it, does that mean it can only be played if those things are in effect? Or is it...
Does it say under his...
Under the name?
Yeah.
So, okay. So it has to be at an underground location. Has to be solstice for that?
Yes.
Or is that just keywords?
Well, that's a monster though, right?
This is a monster.
That's not, I think it has to be played there then.
Okay. Interesting.
Because most, like, my monsters don't have anything underneath their nameplates.
Okay, so then I'm playing a monster face down.
Paying 1?
1 sanity.
Okay. I'm going to play Luther Harden, the ally. Steadfast police detective, knows English. Protection from police investigation and from cards that cause you to lose artifacts or tomes. At the moment when you would lose an artifact or a tome, you may choose to bury this card instead. Your opponent must then bury his or her card.
Oh, okay. That's the different steadfast police detective?
Yep.
Knows English. What if he were to succumb to temptation?
No. What is that?
Affects opponent's steadfast ally. Oh, lose a sanity.
Jeez.
It's fine. I'm fine with it. A random steadfast ally of the chosen opponent goes mad. The ally immediately attacks his or her investigator. Unaffected allies of that opponent may defend. Then bury this card and return the affected ally to the investigator's side. So he's coming at you for 3.
I guess I'll take 3. Bang.
All right. But
then he comes back and hangs out.
I cast Threaten on you.
Just sort of mad, kind of a little bit.
Let's face it. I've gone a little crazy over the years.
Okay. I'm going to take an action and turn Harry Houdini face up. I feel like I'm going to need some beef.
Oh, it takes an action to turn face. Okay.
Play the cop. I called the cops and they immediately turned on me.
You can never trust them to. You can never trust them to take care of a situation.
You just punched me a little bit. It's fine. Now he's my friend again.
What does Houdini say?
Houdini says bury Houdini only if he takes his full card value and sanity loss during combat.
Yeah.
Which is now 5 because of his gun.
All right, I am going to play Henry W. Akeley. And corrupt cultist and scholar, knows English, Greek, and glyphs. Vermont. I'm in Vermont. At one point, the value of this card, whenever you have a country location, at the top is a story card deck. So this is a country location. So, all right.
Okay, I'm going to go to this Arkham location, Miskatonic University.
Ah,
it does have a gate.
It's the Commons, the Miskatonic University Commons. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I couldn't have played this monster because this wasn't a gate location.
Oh, you didn't have a gate in play?
Yeah. So I would have to correct that. We can say the same things still would have happened.
Actions at some point, yeah.
I'll go to the Lonely Akeley farmhouse
and get the sanity back for playing the monster.
Yes, I do. I guess I don't lose this sanity yet.
Not till you arrive there. Yeah.
So I'm at 6.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
Did you take an action?
So my action would be to arriving.
Okay.
So down to I actually lose 2 because of the agoraphobia. I've done 4.
Okay. And then I'm going to use this. I do lose 1 because of the portophobia.
Okay.
To summon a monster. I do have to lose 2 sanity.
Ooh, that's a big one. I'll lose the sanity now to play this.
Okay. I'm gonna lose the sanity because of the gate. And then I'm gonna leave. It's so scary here with that gate. Take a walk to the Chelsea bookshop.
Okay. I'm going to give Dr. Allen the command of the bloody tongue.
What does that
do? Which is a horrifying picture.
Yeah.
It's like a skull folding in on itself. May only be cast during combat. Rotate defending ally to indicate it is the target. If the defending ally would be buried, he or she is discarded instead.
I see. Cool.
And Dr. Allen can know any one spell, so I guess playing that on him is...
I'll arrive at the bookshop.
I will pass.
Okay. I definitely need something. We'll give Luther Harden this cast iron skillet. +1 value. Add 1 to ally's value. 1 weapon per ally. If the weapon is due to be buried, you may immediately give to another.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna pass.
Combat. Cosmic battle time.
Cosmic battle.
So we take our monsters, They're flip face up.
All right, I have the Dark Young.
I have the Martin's Beach Horror. Look at that.
Oh man, they're meeting in cosmic battle.
Martin's Beach Horror says, able to paralyze victims. When directed threat is revealed, randomly choose 2 of your opponent's allies, defending or not, and flip the cards face down.
Oh, okay. Was it face down for the future?
They're face down. You can't defend with.
Okay. Okay, so then.
Oh, actually, we're supposed to assign blockers before we're revealed.
Oh, okay.
Things.
Okay.
So I am blocking with both.
You're blocking mine with both.
Yeah.
I can send him into attack as well, right, Dr.
You
Allen?
you can add him to the threat pile.
Does he after the cosmic battle? Yeah, whatever. He's gonna.
He is in the cosmic battle.
He's
participating in the cosmic battle. He's actually face down.
Dr. Allen is face down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I choose which of my guys are going in, basically, or
if there's an enchanted weapon, they can participate in combat.
Okay.
As threats.
Okay. All this stuff.
Yeah. So that is in the cosmic battle, and now you can choose what allies you want to defend with.
Okay. And those aren't attacking me?
Those are defending.
Okay. Anything left over tramples me, basically.
Yeah.
I guess I'll defend with these 2.
Okay. All right. So now we reveal.
Okay.
These cosmic battle occurs.
Okay. So he is in the cosmic battle.
And now this triggers, so I turn 2 of your allies face down randomly. This does not include this guy.
Okay.
Since he's in the cosmic battle, so it would be one of those 3.
Okay.
Or 2 of those 3.
Okay. So here is a die. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she's the only one that does not. So these get turned face down. Do they don't exist anymore? I guess
They're not in the combat.
Okay.
They'll get refreshed at the end of the round, just like anything else. And then so you have 2, 3, 7 power.
Yes.
So you assign 4 however you want.
Okay.
And this guy dies.
So I can have the Dark Young eat the 4.
Yep. And it's gone.
So otherwise, it would be like 3 and 1. Would they keep going?
It would be. You have to do all. You can't split it.
Oh, okay.
You choose the order.
So I'll do the 4 here.
Yeah.
Then. Okay. And then Dr. Allen's still coming in.
Yeah. So it's going to assign 3 damage. I can put it on Houdini, and he doesn't go.
Okay. But can I spell him?
You can spell.
So it says rotate defending ally to indicate it is the target. The target defending ally would be buried, but I guess he's not buried because he has to take up the whole thing. Okay.
Because he's Houdini.
All right, that's fine. So I won't cast a spell.
He's MF and Houdini. So nothing happens.
All right.
These guys return.
What about him?
He is buried.
Okay.
Because he participated in the.
All right.
I'll read through that, make sure that's correct, but I believe it is.
Right. Cosmic battle.
The things that can happen in combat are definitely the most
confusing. Yeah.
Confusing, and it maybe doesn't need to be that confusing.
Right.
But that's just me. That's how it is. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
Burn your destroy deck all cards from your threat, including monsters, cultists, and allies bearing enchanted weapons, whether or not they were eliminated during combat.
Okay.
Your opponent does do the same, burying and defending allies who absorbed any amount of sanity loss. So yeah.
Would I have to cast the spell to have it buried, or is it just buried because
it's buried with him?
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Your defending allies on turn to absorb 1 point per value and list an ally card. Defender determines the order in which is or defending ally. Okay, yeah, so I choose Harry Houdini to be the. So yeah, that's how that works. Okay, next round.
All right, so I'm going to discard the 7th house on the left. And I am going to draw 8. 2, 4, 6, 8.
Okay. Let's go to these. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And if your deck does run out, you do have to pay a sanity to reshuffle.
Okay.
Which could kill you. Alright, so you're first.
Alright.
No, these refresh. Face down stuff refresh.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know if I was going to have to. lose turns to that one.
No, I'm actually happens of a round, so in the middle of a round you would. But.
Okay, so let's see. So can I? If I have the stuff, I can just play adventure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna verify. Okay. Oh, nope.
Didn't have it.
Oh, okay. Here it is. Okay, so I have this tome.
Okay.
I can play this tome?
Yep.
Does it? Where is it? Oh, it just goes over here.
It says
tomes. Tomes and artifacts.
Yeah, you're supposed to be playing allies. There.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was mirroring you.
But I mean, it's mostly fine.
Yeah.
And tomes can interplay with any spells from your hand that match the symbol.
Okay. All right. So this is the Hutchinson cipher.
So glyphs. Do you have someone that knows glyphs?
I think he's dead now. He's buried.
So you cannot play the tome.
Oh.
You have to be able to read the tome to play the tome.
Oh. Does what's her face? She knows English. Oh wait, Henry Ackley knows glyphs.
There you go.
So he can play glyphs. All right. So Hutchinson cipher. This is -1. Play this. Down to 2. It's fine. We're fine. And I'm gonna play the Dust of Suleiman underneath it. Affects your hand or opponent's directed threat. Summon or control a lesser independent monster. Oh, so I can take over one of your monsters. You try to send it at me. Okay.
Yeah. All right, I will play a tome as well. Letter from a friend. And I can play death tomes. So I'm going to include this blasphemous obeisance. Affects opponent's directed threat. This can return a random card in the target directed threat to that player's hand.
Ah, okay. Okay. So now I can play, I believe, this, right? So, yes, tome. Check. This, gate. Okay. Monster? Just any monster works for it.
Any monster, yeah.
Okay. No. Okay. I am playing Questionable Judgment.
It all began.
Yeah, and I'll read.
Yeah.
It all began in a boring library. I'll play the cards as I go.
Perfect.
All those books waiting to be sorted. There must be a better way. But wait. That musty tome. Wow. It is old. It reveals 2 gate locations in different cities. So, gate location in a different city. Gate location in a city.
Kingsport and Salem?
Yep.
No,
Arkham, yeah. Where one can summon...
Oh, yeah, there's some locations that count as tome, yeah.
A monster.
I think I played one that counted as a tome.
Oh, those tomes counted?
So it has that keyword on it, so. Okay. One of the first ones I played counted as a tome.
Oh.
Or you did, maybe?
Yeah, one of mine did. My Forgotten... No, that counted
as like the Chelsea Bookshop tome keyword.
My Athenium counted as a tome, so I guess that could have... Oh, it was also a library.
Yep.
All right, well, anyway. Where one can summon a monster. This tome also contains a blasphemous spell, completing the training of a new corrupt cultist. So, corrupt cultist.
There you go.
All right, so there you go. That's all that right there. Library, tome, 2 gate locations in different cities, monster, spell, corrupt cultist. Now, this is +1 sanity on it. And then it is worth
5 points.
5 points. That puts me to 8.
And I'm at 7. So you win.
We did it.
But is it really winning if you win with a 5-point
well,
easy to complete
thing?
Yeah, but that's the only thing in the game because we're playing on standard.
The easy, yeah. Otherwise, we'd have to keep playing to the 20 points.
Which I feel like we would die to sanity loss before.
But maybe not. So
maybe we would just buckle down to this.
Let's see.
I was close to this one.
Ambush. So I had this one called The Price. I had to summon a servitor monster, which I had done. A corrupt cultist captures a steadfast ally. Miss Anna Tilton here is steadfast. Taking him to Dark Inkai. Now, here's this card, and this is the interesting one because this is an exotic location.
That's also cool art.
Country, underground, artifact, tome. -2 sanity to go here. I couldn't actually travel to here with agoraphobia because it is an outside location too. So, you may play this card only if your current location is underground. You must walk out of Inkai. While at Inkai, all monsters in your threat function as if it is night. So, the cultist uses an enchanted knife, which I did have, for his unspeakable ceremony. From the smoke of burning incense, ancient Zulsha is brought forth. And I did have Zulsha in my hand here. Tolsha.
Oh, so he's just that's his value.
Yeah.
It's just the elder sign.
Yeah, it's an outer god. So what does that mean? Does that mean you just
they don't bother themselves with committing to combat?
Okay,
they just have an effect.
Yeah.
Until they discard it.
Tolsha says, "It is day. Bury any night or day cards in play. New ones may not be played while Tolsha is in play. While this card is in play, 3 passes are required to end the round, and no investigator may gain sanity." So
that's cool. There's more cool art here. We got this hunting horror. This thing.
Insects.
I have this lightning gun. Oh, this is cool too. The hospital art. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the art's great in this game. I wish it wasn't like covered in crappy looking borders.
Yeah.
But that's just card games at the time, right?
Yeah.
I like this game.
I think the art for Portophobia is particularly sweet. Like that's a nice monster right there. It's a nice
I would love to see what decks of this game look like.
Yeah.
And what more cards look like. I think that only lasted 2 years, so it only had like 1 or 2 expansions. It was not.
Yeah, we were talking like total 500 cards maybe
in
the game's like existence. So
this might be one we revisit if I can like find an affordable set of cards in the future. But I really enjoyed this. I really like the way that the adventures work.
Yeah, well, and it played fast.
And it played very fast.
Right. And so
the rounds went a lot faster than I thought they would.
And that's important, I think, for I think it's very important for a 4-player game, right? Where
you're doing one thing.
You're like you've got 3 people's turn to think about what you're going to do, right? And so by the time it comes to your turn, you're more likely to have something ready to go.
It's super clean. Like it's not a lot of complicated things. You can glance at your opponent's boards and see what allies they have.
Yeah,
how many threats they're building up. So the way threats work in multiplayer is you would divide them amongst players.
Okay, so you could summon multiple threats at a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only $199.99 for a booster box. Well, that's
$200.
That's too much for a booster box.
I mean, that's not that bad. If you're
it's not too bad
if you're like a super fan of the game.
But if you're buying boxes, a lot of the time people are buying boxes to just sit on them, right? I would want to buy like someone that opened a bunch of stuff and just has extra stuff. This is less than a single booster pack of Magic. Yeah. So yeah, that was Mythos.
There you go. Yeah, this was definitely a cool game, I would say.
Yeah, many thanks to someone actually sent us this starter deck for free. So that was very nice.
It was like a while back. So.
Yeah, it was like a year ago. They were like, "Hey, you have this played on."
Yeah, I guess we did wrap up. We wrapped up Card Game Necromancy in the fall of last year, season 2. So
yeah,
but yeah, we've got a couple more games to play for Card Game Season 3.
Yeah, I got a handful of stars for random games.
So we'll probably be doing that over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, on Wednesdays. So thanks for watching, everybody.
Appreciate everybody hanging out tonight.
Hope everyone has a great rest of the week. We'll be back on Sunday for Keyforge.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.